Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Anthony Joshua continues on his rant towards current unified Mexican heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz Jr. And as you know, unless you've been hiding under a rock, living under a rock, he's been going on a rant towards former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis. Currently, he's had this to say about Andy Ruiz Jr. He believes that Andy Ruiz Jr. is weak. He got lucky with a lucky punch, but at the end of the day, he's weak, right? He already stated that he thought that he got lucky. Now he's saying that he's weak on top of it. Why? Why is he weak on top of it? He says, because I was concussed in the third round, and it took him another 4 rounds to finish me. I was surprised. I didn't even know what was taking place. I didn't know where I was at. And it still took him another 4 rounds to get me out of there, right? He stated that, and here's where it gets a little spooky, right? He says, I don't even know what a concussion is. This is what Anthony Joshua said. He doesn't even know what a concussion is. But for sure, after the fight, I didn't know what round the fight was stopped. So I'm just shocked it took Ruiz another 4 rounds to get me out. Right? So now he's on top of him saying that he believes that he's weak. He's saying that he doesn't even know what concussion is. He just knows that after the fight, he didn't remember what round he got stopped. He didn't know what round he was in while he was fighting. He had no recollection of the fight as it was taking place, as it was unfolding. He said that he was on cruise control. He was on autopilot. He had no idea what was taking place. It was just muscle memory, which allowed him to fight back. Oddly enough, now here's my opinion on this. Oddly enough, he says he didn't remember anything. So how could you remember that the crowd was booing you? Maybe this is why he said the crowd was booing him when he knocked Andy Ruiz down, when in fact they were cheering. Then he said that, he remembered what the referee was saying, but he didn't have his gum shield in. So he felt like the referee stopped it too early. So how did you remember what took place in the corner with the referee? How do you remember if you didn't quit or not? Then he goes on to state that, after he was hit with the lucky punch, he was on autopilot, right? So when you look at him in the corner, now he very well could have been concussed. He very well could have memory loss, right? Because it happens. I've had it in football games. I play football on a very high level, and I had it in football games, right? Where it takes you a series or two to get back to normal, or to get back to, to the current situation, right? But when he's in his corner, he's talking about things that's taking place in the fight. Usually when you're in that state, you would stare in a blank stare, right? You wouldn't have any feedback for anybody. He had feedback in the corner. He didn't just have a blank stare, right? He was shaking his head yes to the referee. He was looking up at the crowd. So maybe, I'm sure he might have. But then why is he coming out with all these excuses as to why he didn't win the fight? He was thinking about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Well, how could you be thinking about them if you didn't even know what was going on? You wasn't thinking about much of nothing, if that was the case, right? He was thinking about the fact that he had no motivation for Andy Ruiz. He was definitely the superior fighter. Anthony Joshua, at this point in time, is putting so much pressure on himself to win this rematch. It's not even funny. I will not be surprised if Anthony Joshua loses this rematch with Andy Ruiz. Is this the last time you see Anthony Joshua in the fight? I'll say this again. I will not be surprised if Anthony Joshua loses this rematch. This is the last time you see him in a boxing ring. It seems to me as if all the sponsors and all the people around him are doing him a disservice. They're truly doing him a disservice. And for him to say that Andy Ruiz is weak, no, Andy Ruiz is smart. And this goes to show the levels of IQ is different between Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. Andy Ruiz didn't go in rushing, uncalculated, because he knew that Anthony Joshua was still a live dog. So when Anthony Joshua says, I don't understand why it took him 4 more rounds. But then in the same token, Anthony Joshua says, now listen to this. Here's the kicker. Anthony Joshua says that he went for the finish, the knockout against Andy Ruiz, and he made a mistake. He did so by making a mistake. He made a mistake by doing so because Andy Ruiz wasn't ready to go after he dropped him. So wouldn't that be crediting Andy Ruiz for not going for the knockout, not just going for it all, not going for the gusto, not just throwing caution in the wind, being smart, being calculated, and getting Anthony Joshua up out of there? Opposed to when Anthony Joshua dropped Andy Ruiz and he so-called, quote unquote, went for the finish and Andy Ruiz wasn't ready to go? So who's smarter? Anthony Joshua says that it took him 4 more rounds to get me out of there. Ultimately, he got you out of there. That's what counts. Like Floyd Mayweather says, it doesn't matter how I win as long as I win. So ultimately, he got you out of there. It might have took him 4 more rounds, but he still did it in dramatic fashion. Because after that first round that he knocked you down twice in that round, and then 2 more times in the fight, and ultimately stopped you. So does it matter how long it took him to get you out of there? Is that a measure of to Andy Ruiz's lack of strength, or is that a credit to Andy Ruiz's high IQ to know when to go and when not to go? Because see, this shows the difference in the IQ, because this shows that Anthony Joshua ring IQ wasn't so high, because he went in, like he stated, according to him, he went for the quote unquote kill, right? And Andy Ruiz wasn't ready to go. But then he says, well, why it took him so long to get me out of there? Because he was calculated. And this is another testament to the fact that Anthony Joshua does not know, he does not identify where he went wrong in the Andy Ruiz fight, and he's grasping for straws and making up excuses on top of excuses, and it's starting to sound more silly as it goes on. No disrespect to Anthony Joshua. I'm just talking about his quotes, not talking about him as a person. But the contradictions are getting really, really ridiculous at this point in time. Now Andy Ruiz is weak. And on top of it, he says he's been an athlete. He participated in the Olympics. Okay? He plays football, which is AKA soccer over in the UK. He understands the sport. So for him to say he don't know what a concussion is, he can't identify what a concussion is, he don't know what a concussion is utterly ridiculous. And that should say it all to everybody that listens to him. That should tell you all. Everything you need to know. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Anthony Joshua says Andy Ruiz is weak and he had no idea what a concussion was. but he didn't remember. He has no recollection of what took place. But Andrew Ruiz should have got him out of there. And that shows the lack of strength that he had because it took him 4 more rounds after I was concussed. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue